How is it going, guys? It's Nutshell here, and today I have a really good video for those of you wanting to both earn a lot of money as well as farm up the green flares, which are available as part of the new Key to Salvation quest, and they're unlocked after you complete that quest, whether you decide to do it or whether you decide to just make money based on that event. It's completely down to you, and this method will work either way. So the whole premise of this whole run is that you essentially need to get yourself a variety of different items in order to basically get yourself the green flare, which has meant that those items have skyrocketed to the moon. So for example, the H2O2 is worth nearly 200k at the minute, and you need 10 of those. The vitamins are worth just over 200k, and you can find all of these items in abundance on labs, and then defibs, if you manage to get lucky and find one, are 870k right now. So the barter trade for this has absolutely changed the market when it comes to each of these items, and I cannot recommend labs enough, because not only do you have the possibility of running the blue, black and green room run, which is super quick, super easy, and gets you a ton of money in the first place, probably in the region of about 3 million, but you're actually getting yourself all of these sorts of stuff as well, and the run itself only takes about 10 minutes roughly to do the whole thing if you're looting all of the rooms. If you're purely after just these items, depending on how long it's going to take you to farm all 3 rooms, you can get it down even further to about 5 minutes if you're purely going to loot black room and then kind of loot up some of the medical item areas. That is definitely a option and maybe worth actually doing instead of looting all 3 rooms. But I'm going to get into a raid in a second and show you exactly what I mean by all of this and how much money you can actually make in one of them. And given the fact that because of all of the kind of people trying to grab out the military batteries, all of the mules and stimulants and various different stims that you actually need in order to basically move around the map a lot easier with a battery, you can see that they have increased in price. They're up at 110k. They were down at about 80k not too long ago, so they're up by about 30%, as well as SJ6s looking just about, up by about 10% roughly. So with that being said, stims are up. All of these items for the barter trade have gone through the roof, and yeah, you still get all of the normal loot, LEDXs, graphics cards, all sorts of rare loot in labs as well. So let's jump into a raid and showcase what I mean. Right, so we spawned in a pretty decent spot in order for us to just keep going. And we are going to make our way upstairs and hopefully loot up some of the key buildings and rooms that we need to. So first room that we're going to look at and kind of area is of course the blue room. We're going to check around for any of these med spawns that like to spawn around here. And we're going to pick up basically anything that is worth anything in the game. So obviously you want to be checking everywhere, making sure that you aren't missing anything, and then yeah, checking all of the shelves, that sort of thing. Hopefully we have picked up everything that is decent. I need to put in the blue key card, and then in here hopefully we'll find a decent amount of med spawns, preferably the ones that are worth an absolute fortune, as right now they're literally better than picking up stims, which is pretty crazy considering not long ago they were worth about 20k and now they're worth 200. So fingers crossed we'll find quite a few, and of course it's going to vary every single run, but remember that you're still making a ton of money either way. So whether or not you get any of the items that you need, you're still going to pick up a lot of stims and stuff that is worth quite a lot of money anyway. So there goes an NaCl, little blood set. Obviously checking everywhere in here is what you want to do. So not only can you get the items, but you can also farm up raiders. I forgot to actually put on the power, so we had to come downstairs, and then once I did put the power on, the raiders spawned and we just took them out with a pistol. So nothing to really worry about there, but of course they do spawn and you want to be making sure to check for them when you're running. They do spawn downstairs now. They didn't used to, so just be aware of that when you are thinking about playing labs anyway. So we found our first H2O2. They are very commonly spawn on this map, so it's not really too difficult to find them. essentially, as long as you're actually looking around for them, you should be able to find them. And once again, we found another one, and they're literally lying everywhere within this map. So once again, finding them, not going to be a difficult task. And once again, if you find all of the other items as well, the defib, and if you find yourself the vitamins, then it's going to be super useful for you. But of course, they're much harder to find than the typical items. But yeah, you can still find them. It's not going to be a problem. So we're in the black room, and hopefully we can get a decent amount of stims here. And then, yeah, we'll hopefully get a LEDX as well. Just putting away some of these stims into our back. Which we will basically guarantee our money back if we do get taken out in the raid. So that is why this run is basically risk-free. There's nothing really that can go wrong. And yeah, so far I've never really had it where we've lost money, and pretty much every single time I've made about $1 million, even when we have a bad run. So you can see there we picked up a LEDX, which is brilliant. I need it for a quest, and now we can make our way over and pick up the last remaining stims that are lying about. And then we'll make our way over to green room. So we've made our way into green room, and hopefully we'll find a decent chunk of loot in here as well. Get ourselves some of the rare spawns and then head out. We're not going to take the extract down the corridor because of the fact that raiders have spawned, unfortunately, right down there, which is just a pain in the backside. And we haven't got any weapons for long range engagements really, except this one, which of course is a raider weapon and has terrible durability. So knowing my luck, it would run out as we're fighting them, but of course you can fight them if you're interested. So far, not a lot of items, loose items anyway, that we can pick up. So, made our way down to the bottom floor. We're going to call the elevator once we turn on the power, which is down in this room over here. And there we go, the elevator's here. Call the elevator and we can get out of the raid. I'll catch you back when I empty out everything that we got from the raid, and we'll see how much money we made, and of course specifically from those bits of items that are required for that barter trade. So this was the loot that we did manage to actually get from the raid itself, and then I'm going to take it all out and cost it all up. We'll check our ragman and just claim anything that is in the flea, just so that we can see exactly how much money we actually made, and shove it all in the money case. And then we'll see, yeah, exactly how much we made based on that. And you should see the cash in the middle here, as there's no other cash in my stash that isn't already in the money case. And of course I will just show you there's nothing in my offers either, so we're not selling anything at the minute that could possibly come through at the same time. So I decided I'd just quick sell all of the stims. I can't be asked to go through and do all of that, but obviously if you want to min max you can do. Most of these stims aren't really worth any more than what you can just sell to therapists, plus you'll pay the flea market commission, so even more. Basically you're going to lose money on some of them if you sell them, and at this point I do not need the flea market reputation, so there, we can quick sell them all. So we've sold everything bar the quest items that I'm going to keep, but I'll cost that in when we look at how much it's actually going to have made. We'll get all of the money that we've got from here. And so currently not the best of runs possible, but we still just made shy of 2 million based off of the loose loot that we got. And then of course we got ourselves a LEDX, which at the minute is worth nearly 800k. So if you take into account the flea market commission, about another 650k, something like that. And then the ophthalmoscope is 68k, so not really worth that much more. So call it 700k for both of these added on to the total cost. So we are about, well, 2.7 million from that quick little raid. Plus we got a few other bits and bobs from in there anyway, which aren't really worth a whole lot. Yeah, either way, about 2.7 million from the probably one of the quickest labs raids that you can do. And of course you got the chance of graphics cards, you have the chance of bitcoins, you've got the chance of getting far more of the medical items within labs. And so yeah, definitely one of the easiest, quickest and best ways to make money right now as part of the event. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. I thought I'd let you know, and so you can farm up your flare cartridges much easier. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe down below for more content like this if you found this one informative or useful or enjoyable to watch. And I will see you in the next one, hopefully. Goodbye.